All right, here's the problem with strings. So you've created some curves and then you've added a noise texture to make it displace and animate like strings, but it just looks like there's a noise texture on some curves. So you add some detail, maybe you add some distortion, scale up the texture, but nothing helps. Still just looks like curves with a noise texture displacing them. It's lacking that natural kind of organic look where each string kind of looks like it has a mind of its own. So in this tutorial today, I'm going to show you how to get your strings to animate and look natural. Again, like each string has its own texture on it. Once I show you that, the rest of the tutorial is just going to be building out this animation, and it'll allow you to make some really cool stuff. If you want to check out a bonus animation from this style, you can check out this exclusive tutorial on Patreon right now, along with a bunch of other really cool tutorials that I've added this month and last month, and a lot of project files from my dailies on Instagram. So if you want to check all that out, that is available on Patreon, and you can get a discount if you subscribe annually. With that being said, let's make this. All right, so we are going to use geometry nodes. So first, let's go ahead and add any piece of geometry, and let's head straight to geometry nodes. Click new to get a new tree. We're going to delete the input, and first we're going to set up the duplicate curves so we can learn how to make this really cool trick. First, let's search up a curve line, and on the Z, type in 15. Let's get a transform geometry and rotate it by 90 degrees so that the curve is going flat. Now let's create essentially our array with a repeat zone. So go ahead and search up repeat, and then go ahead and plug in the geometry so we get a perfect line through here. And let's set up a quick repeat. So we need to get a join geometry to create that duplicate action. And we're going to get a set position. We'll plug the set position here. And from outside, we'll grab the transform geometry, put that into the join geometry. On the set position on the Y, put 0.05, and now we have a duplicate right there. So then we can just give ourselves 300 duplicates right here. And in order to control the subdivision, let's get a resample curve and give it a count of 200 for now. That will give us enough geometry to see this look cool. So let's go ahead and make this look like strings. So we need to get a set position node, and we'll get, like I said, the noise texture to get this looking like strings and displacing like strings. So I'm just going to hit G and give myself some space here. So I'm going to click and drag and type in multiply, and we need a vector math multiply so that we can extrude it on the Z. Now you can see it's kind of hovering. Go ahead and click on normalize, and that'll keep it in the middle. So now we have some noise. Let's give our detail down to 0 and our scale to something like 0.3. So now we have this nice looking scene. So again, clearly just a noise texture. How can we make it look stringy but still wavy? What we need to do is create a quick attribute to fix this. So we're going to get a capture attribute. This is the trick that this whole video is about. Capture attribute, and I want the attribute to talk to the splines because we created a bunch of splines. And what I want to make the string work, switch this over to 4D. We now have this ability to randomize our curves. And I'll kind of zoom in here. What I want is for each one of these strings to have its own W value. This is a thing I've done on the channel several times, but I wanted to highlight it just for strings because it's so cool. W value. We want each string, all the strings have the same exact W value, so stretching this texture across all of them. But what if each one had a value of like 23, and then one had a value of 40, and then one had a value of 8? They would look like they have their own noise texture, look like they'd have their own mind of their own. So the way we can do that is capturing an attribute, get a random value, because we want a random value. And if you say put a random value for every one of the splines right here, I'm going to highlight these guys and hit G a little bit more, then we can take this nice attribute that we just created and plug it right into the W, and watch what happens. It becomes way more string-like. And you can accentuate this too. And also it's like, oh, well, I want to animate the W. I've lost the W. I can't animate it now. That's okay. Get a math node, plug it here, and switch to multiply add. The addend is literally just like being able to animate this. So addend is just animating the W. The multiplier multiplies basically that value. So we're getting more extreme values and we start to completely lose the original texture, which could be what you want. Maybe sometimes it's not, but we can still animate it. Now, the closer you get to 0, the closer we get back to just seeing your basic noise texture. So if you bring up that multiplier, you can really specify how much you want. Once you're there, you can play with the addend and get something really cool. We're now done. If you know how to add geometry to curves, you just do a curve to mesh, get a curve circle, give it a resolution of maybe 6 and a radius of 0.05, and plug that right into profile, and maybe go to like, we now have curves that are renderable. So we're done with the whole point of this video is now done. But if you want to walk away with a cool animation, we're going to build that out now. So now we have this. It's pretty cool. I'm going to say give myself a little detail on the texture, maybe bring the scale down. We have something pretty sweet that we can animate. But what I want to do is right after the noise texture, I want to add a color ramp to give some flat portions so it looks stringy. Other portions make it flat to give it this kind of fabric looking situation. So if we just get a color ramp, what it's going to do, if I look at it from a bottom view, putting it right there slices the bottom. We now have this flat section, and then of course we can go back to the addend and it will play with it and get this really cool effect. So it slices that bottom out and we have something really nice. And then of course this multiply will extrude out that string however you want. Of course, you can extrude it out. My computer's lagging a little bit, so I'm going to highlight these guys and hit M, just mute it so we can go back to curves, and it's a little bit easier. So the couple more things to make this look a little more string-like, aside of just the basic kind of multiplying this effect and making it look like that. Of course, you can bring up the scale if you want, but you can actually create kind of a texture coordinate. So if I bring my multiplier down to like 2, we're going to go get a position node and another vector math, specifically setting it to multiply. So if I plug position here, vector into vector, and we just put everything back to normal defaults, you can play with this and actually stretch out the noise texture to get a more stretched out string-like looking animation. So that is another thing that is available to you if you feel like it's too like hill-like, but scaling it makes you lose stuff. You can scale it out in any axis you want. You can even like stretch it this direction to get more strings like this. This looks pretty cool actually. One more thing to edit this. See how we added this color ramp and it clipped the bottom out? If you get another math node and just keep it on add and put it right after the noise, you can basically decide how much is flat, how much is hilly. So you can just have like a few flat parts. You can have a bunch of flat parts. You can have some control. And then again, going back to the W or the addend, you can animate it right there. One more thing to make this look awesome. What I don't like is here on the edge, right here, you can see how they're going up. What I want to do is lock down the sides. Make this so that there's like on the edges, they're not coming up. I want it to kind of look like it's sewn on the sides. How do I do that? The way you can do it, I'm going to highlight all of these guys right here. So starting at the position all the way to the multiply, I'm going to hit G and drag them down. I just want some space right here. Let's go ahead and get a mix vector node, and we're going to mix between flat and extruded with a gradient node. So let's get a color ramp. We'll get a gradient node, gradient texture, and I'm going to copy right here. This multiply in this position, I'm just going to duplicate it, click and drag, and give it a value of 1, plug it here, and then we'll plug color into color ramp, and then we'll plug this color into the factor, because the factor is deciding between flat and extruded. So plug that right into the factor, and you're going to see it happening right there. That's the simple gradient. And so what I can do is, it's just a gradient, so it's going from extruded to flat. I want it to go flat, extruded, flat. And so we can do that visually with colors, which colors equate to values. And so what we can do is bring this black one over here. Let's get another node, make it pure white, get another node, and make it black. That'll kind of make this shelf. And then if we take the multiply and bring the value down, it will stretch that out and lock down on the sides our animation. And if you want to move it around, you can get another vector math node, plug it here, and you can move this gradient that we just created. And there we go. Now it's locked down on the sides. It's a really cool looking thing. And then say it's too much. I want some more flat portions, so we can go down like this. And there we go. We've done this. Let's go ahead and add our curves back. Looks like he's way over there. So highlight them, uncheck M or uncheck mute. I'm gonna go and get a camera. I'm gonna hit G and middle click and just bring to view my scene. So I'm gonna go to iterations and bring my count down till it's more like a 16:9 grid. Sweet. Now it's creating this really insane optical look. On the camera, I would go ahead and give my focal length of like 10. So you get this wide angle look, so you can kind of see how it extrudes in and out. And you can appreciate what you created. Just like this. Cool, so now we have this. We can go ahead, add a material. So I'm gonna use Eevee, world brightness, bring it down to black. I'm gonna go to the very, very end, Shift A and get a set material node. Over here in the material section, I'm gonna click new and just get emission. Grab that there, and then we can go here to the material view, and then say on the curved circle, do a radius of 0.005, bring it down a little bit. And now if we go to the addend of our multiply add, you can see we have this animation. I mentioned looping. I might as well just loop since we're here. So I'm going to go ahead and give myself more space. Oops. I'm going to go and highlight all the way to the capture attribute. So if you've seen me loop the W, but you've never seen me do it with this addend, we're going to do that so we can loop this animation. So what we need to do, we're going to go ahead and get in a mix color, plug it there, and I'm going to take these guys. And if you have the Node Wrangler add-on enabled, you can hit Control-Shift-D, and that keeps the capture attribute plugged into the multiply add, and we will just plug the factor of the noise into B and make sure on the addend, which is the W, the part that we loop, the addend is set to 0. The addend is what we are going to animate. So I'm going to give myself, I'm going to keep it at 250 frames and go back to frame 0. On the addend, I'm going to hit I. On the mix color, hit I. I'm going to go to the very end of 250, and I'm going to say probably a speed of 5, and then bring this over to the right, hit I. On this addend here, the bottom one, hit I. Now that we're at the very end of 250, go back to frame 0 and type in -5, because the top one was +5. There we go. So now we have an animation. Now you can see how it kind of bands, it gets all kind of wild. That's just because of an Eevee preview. But now we have this animating around. This is what my final animation looks like, so it's not going to look so insane. You can play with the thickness, you can play with the amount of curves you have. If I render this out 4K, we get something really, really cool. So there you go, that's it. Again, if you want the bonus tutorial from this video, that is available on Patreon right now. You can do the same thing, but with a circle, and have some fun with that. But with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this, hope you got something useful out of this, and I'll see you in the next one.